welcome to Heather and Hops. My name is Kat, or Catherine, and I am a knitter based in Hertfordshire in the United Kingdom. This is my little place on the internet where I have shared my knitting journey from day one through to now, where I have released 2 knitting patterns. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning watcher, subscriber, thank you for coming back. It is lovely to sit and have a chat with you. Just on the top of the episode, I am feeling not so on top of it at the moment. Life is very much happening. I will be a little bit more open about this potentially next week or the week after, but for now I'm just gonna be myself as much as I can and keep plodding on. Yeah, so let's talk about knitting. I don't have loads to talk about today, I don't have loads to share, but what I do have I'm very happy with. So I have 3 finished objects and no whips to show you, only because one of them is a sample knit and the other one you'll see is part of a half-finished object. So I didn't think it was worth showing you a very little bit of black knitting. It doesn't show up very well on here. So let's get started. Let's try not to be too chaotic today. So as you might have seen if you were with me for my last proper podcast 2 weeks ago, last week I shared a podcast of all of my knitted summer tops or little tops. I kind of used the word both words because, you know, some were not really summer tops, but they didn't really, to me, class as jumpers or garments. Jumpers or cardigans. So yeah, but I was working on a pair of socks using this gorgeous gobstopper by the DOTTY wool company in the colourway Mrs. CLAUS. This was something that I purchased as a birthday gift from my grandparents. I haven't woven in the ends, I haven't done on, I did on one of my finished objects, but I have 2 finished objects. This contrast colour, the red, is BEEHIVE yarns in her Raven Red colourway, and I knitted a blondie cardigan by Amy Appel of Poison Girl Knits using this, and also a Best Beret by James Watts. Both I held mohair with it double. I don't think I have any mohair left, I have a tiny little bit of the red left. And then this was a gift from me from Nugget Becky. I don't know who it's from, but I was 100% sure it was sock yarn. And I'm really pleased. These do fit me quite well. They fit Alex even better. So I don't really know who they're going to go to, but it's really nice to actually have finished a pair of socks. I'm not the most inspired sock knitter, really. Sock knitting isn't my favourite thing to do or knit, but I have found quite a lot of joy in knitting those. I do think that's to do with the self-striping, but also it was really nice yarn. It was a high twist, and I do really like a high twist yarn. Yeah, so I don't really do lots of socks that have got patterns on anymore. When I first started, I quite enjoyed them. I thought the process of knitting and learning to do a pattern and having to repeat it a lot of times was quite fun. But for sock knitting, I quite enjoy a small circular and just knit a vanilla socks, basically, which means that I can do it while I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons or watching television or talking to people. I generally pick bigger projects if we're just watching television, if I'm honest, and I do prefer to if we're just chatting, but if we're going out on our bikes or we're going to go and see friends, it's a very, very small project, so I don't have to take a big bag, or, you know, it's quite a small movement. It's not like getting a big jumper out, and which I am not adverse to doing, I must admit. So yeah, I really like these socks. Really pleased with them, they're really fun. Definitely seeing Mrs. Claus in them. And yeah, I did a fish lips kiss heel in garter stitch and just a basic rounded, sort of rounded toe. It wasn't a full rounded, sort of a more rounded version of a standard toe. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, so second, it's a sock object. It's half finished, so it's a home. Black in this house does get quite Audrey hairy, but I finished finally a black version of my For the Frill socks, and I couldn't be happier. This very easy knit, very relaxing knit. The only different to it being a vanilla sock really is this fun little frill. So these can be knit, you know, it's kind of a good recipe pattern, I would say, because it covers from tiny up to as big as I could think was necessary. But yeah, it's a pretty inclusive pattern, so matchy can happen. But I really wanted a black pair because having knitted a few black objects, I've realised just how much wear I will get out of a black item, and it is a lot. This, I'm really excited. I'm going to wear it with my Dr. Martens, I'm going to wear it with my fancy, I've got some Rocket Original shoes, which if you're interested in reproduction clothing, it's a lovely company in the UK, and I've got cute black velvet or suede. I think they're fake, but they're lovely shoes, and they'll be really cute with them. And also my Chelsea boot versions of my Dr. Martens. So these are going to be worn quite a bit, especially as eventually it will cool down a little bit here. And I'm really excited. These were actually knitted in drops only. So it was knitted in drops Nord, which is from memory about 45% alpaca, 30% polyamide, I want to say 25% something else, wool. Yeah, oh, I did get it right, wow. And the black mohair was also drops kid silk. So yeah, a very affordable sock overall. This was because I had leftovers from the shawl that I ripped out and turned into my little ranunculus. This was from that. I might even be able to do another pair, so whether I make my sister a pair or someone else a pair, I don't know, but I'm very happy with this. But yeah, like I said, I've cast on the second sock and I've done 2 inches of ribbing maybe, so I didn't think it was necessary to share, but yeah, very happy with this. I think I did the cast on of 64 stitches on a 2.25mm, which is about the sweet spot for me. 60 stitches is good too, which works as well for this pattern. You wouldn't need to change much at all. But yeah, really pleased with them. Can't wait to wear them. I have actually put it on my foot already. But so we are flying through today, which might be a good thing. I can, yeah, go and clear my head a little bit. But finally I have something that if you saw the summer tops video, you will have seen this before. If you didn't, this is something that I'm really pleased with. I cast it on just before we went away to Wales, and it's using quite special yarn because it's using LALLYBROCH by Ginger Twist Studio on Ginger's hand dyed on her mohair base, which is called Leading Lady, I believe, Leading Lady lace, in the colourway LALLYBROCH, which has become one of my favourite colours that I've ever knitted with. And then some one-of-a-kind colourways that I dyed myself. The bottom one is actually dyed with turmeric and tea, and the second one was dyed 3 times because the first 2 times I wasn't happy with it, and now I really am. So this, I don't know what to quite call this. Someone lovely suggested calling it a swerve, but it will have a name eventually. And I'm really chuffed. This is my kind of swirly top. It fits really nicely. It's got a cropped boxy fit but with fitted arms. The second version will have slightly looser arms for me. But I love the way the yarn, I want to say interacts, but I think like it's the wrong word. But the way the DK and the lace sit against one another, I think is really cool. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this one. It came out of my head. I was working on my shawl and I drew a sketch, and then within 24 hours I'd cast on. I was very excited by it. I actually ran out of yarn, which is why I ended up using the two colours. Initially I was going to dip dye it and cover up the natural dye, but I'm not going to. I actually really like how it looks, and I might over dye it should the colour really fade, and then I'll dye it really dark and dark enough so that the striping fades too. Yeah, I have had quite some interest in this, which is really, really cool. So I had started to grade it, and I've had a bit of support from a lovely knitter, which information I just haven't had time, unfortunately, to go through and look at. But at the moment I am unsure what I am doing. In a nutshell, life is really awesome. We've got some really exciting things coming up which I can't wait to share, but given that I haven't spoken to my family just through time and no one being around, I haven't shared, so I don't feel like I can share here until we've told family. I'm not pregnant. And then also we've got some kind of stressful things going on which will eventually become good things, but are just taking a lot more time and stress than we'd hoped, mostly through not knowing. I find that really frustrating. And then I am at a point where I would really like to develop and learn more about knitting, taking it a little, I would never take myself that seriously, but taking it a bit more seriously and choosing the direction and path to go. I don't really want to go back to university, and that's not because I don't want to. I would love to, but it would cost so much to upskill and potentially not upskill in the way that I would like to. So I've kind of been thinking about trying to find a mentor, which would be amazing but has proven very difficult. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things that I would like to learn. There's a lot of hopefully moving forward to be done. And like I said, I am just in a little bit of a moment. A lot of the world has gone back to, well, not a lot, but the UK has started to go back to sort of how it was before, and not being in that position myself, it feels slightly strange. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I was sort of isolated for 2 years through illness, and then I started to get better, and then I had a bit of a relapse at the beginning of the year, and I'm slowly getting better now so I can get back out there, but it's very, very difficult to get back out there. So if you are in that position too, I really feel for you, and if you ever need to talk, my inbox is an open door. Do feel free to chat. Yeah, anyway, on that slightly obscure note, I really do hope you are having a lovely week, whatever you are up to. If you're in the heat, I hope you stay hydrated and you are enjoying what you can of it. I am ready to open my front door, even though the building work is very, very loud, to get some fresh air in here. It was lovely to talk to you, and I hope to see you again very soon. Enjoy your knitting, enjoy your family, and take care of yourselves. recording. You're still excited though.
Very excited.